Good evening, folks. What we're going to do today is we are going to simplify some radicals. So we have two radicals here. We have the square root of 60, and we have the cube root of 432. If you were to take your calculator out now and find the square root of 60, you'd find that you're going to get an irrational number, and you'll find that the same thing will happen with the cube root of 432. You're going to get a great big decimal. That's really just an estimation. But by simplifying, we can turn this into a simpler form of something that we can use with ease. So we're going to start with the square root of 60. And what I'm going to do is first I'm going to factor out this. So I'm going to take my square root of 60 and I'm just going to take the 60 and I'm going to factor it, well, 2 times 30, keeping it under the radical sign. Well, can I factor this any further? Sure. I can factor 30 down to 2 times 15 and then down to 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. So I've prime factored out 60. By prime factoring it, I can now look, because this is a square root, I'm looking for square numbers or something that is a pair. So I have two 2's here, so I can actually do the square root of 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, and the square root of 4 is 2. So I take this pair, and outside of the radical, I'm going to write one single of that pair. So what am I writing down? I'm going to write down 2. From there, I can just take whatever's left and write it back down under the radical. So the square root of 3 times 5. Well, now that I got 3 times 5, I can't really square root 3, I can't really square root 5. They give me decimals, I don't want that, so I just multiply them back together, and I get 2 times the root of 15. That's it. That's the simplified version of the square root of 60. Let's do the same thing with the cube root of 432. So I'm going to do this a little quicker. I'm going to prime factor out 432, and I'm going to get the cube root of 2 times 2 times 2 times 3 times 3 times 3. With these two groups, what I'm going to look for is not pairs this time, but because the index of my radical is 3, I'm looking for triplets. And we can clearly see that we do have one triplet here of 2 times 2 times 2. And when I cube root a triplet, it becomes the base, or 2 cubed becomes 2. And then I can do the same thing with my 3 times 3 times 3. And the cube root of 3 times 3 times 3, which is 27, is 3. I write that down. I then put my radical sign back up, and I take whatever's left under the radical, and I write it down. So it's the cube root of 2. Almost done. I now take my 2 times 3, and I just multiply those back together, so I end up with 6 times the cube root of 2. And there you go. Simple as that.